Okay. So, you guys know how I have like a little helmet kind of thing. Like I have a collection of the helmets of the NFL. Well, we're not even done the what's it called? The Super Bowl. This is a week before the Super Bowl. This is before any of that ever happens. And what I'm doing here is kind of a prediction. An off-season prediction on who are the teams to really look out for in 2017. This is gonna be This is gonna be updated as the off season goes on, because at the end of the day, this can change dramatically as the year goes on, and it's definitely going to change once the season begins. With that being said, this is just my opinion based off of this past season, and due to recent events and everything. I picked out 6 to 9 teams from each side, NFC or AFC, that either will make the playoffs or is right out there, but like right behind the teams that make it in. Now, in my personal opinion, we have the AFC over here. The AFC, they've always been a weak point, unless if you look at over here, the New England Patriots. That team is always the team to beat, in my opinion. I mean, well, not in my opinion. It's a freaking fact. We all know they are like a dynasty in the NFL. They've made the Super Bowl 7 times ever since I was born. They've made the Super Bowl 7 times. I am only 16. That's nearly half of my existence. And you're telling me that this team right there is nothing just but a lucky team. Come on. If you can't beat the New England Patriots in your conference, there is something wrong with your conference. Let's be real. These teams up here, from Cleveland all the way up there to little lonely Miami and the newly Los Angeles Chargers, they suck. Like, let's be real. And this is my prediction right here. We have New England, the first seed. I mean, why the hell not? Why wouldn't I? The second seed, I'm going out on a limb and saying it is Indy. I'm saying it's Indy because I feel they're going to shock the world this upcoming season. You saw who my third team is, the Cleveland Chiefs, the Kansas City Chiefs here. You saw them fail, right? You saw them fail in the playoffs. Who did they lose to? These guys here. The Pittsburgh Steelers. I think if Ben Roethlisberger retires, that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be trash. I wouldn't necessarily say trash, more like just not as good. You know what I mean? I just don't think they're going to have what it takes to be the best in 2017 if Ben Roethlisberger retires. They still have Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell. They'll still be in the playoff hunt, no doubt. But going back to seed number 4, the winner of the North, that is going to be the Baltimore Ravens. I'm picking Baltimore because they did pretty decently this year. They almost had the North in their hands. They had it for, a good 3 weeks to a month before the Steelers came back and won it from right under them. I'm going to predict that these guys get their chance to shine once again and win the division this upcoming season. Moving on from that, we got seed 5, which is a team that missed out on the playoffs after winning the Super Bowl number 50. The Broncos. I almost said the Baltimore Broncos. I'm stuttering a lot. I apologize. But this team, they're not bad. We all know that. They're not a terrible team. They have always been decent. Trevor Siemian was good. Paxton Lynch, whoever the starter is, they'll do decently, to say the least. And then my seed 6 is the most complicated. It does involve the Steelers, but I think it's between these two guys right here. We saw Tennessee really shine towards the end of the season, and we saw Oakland really dominate throughout the entire season, only losing to this team, and I believe the Tennessee Titans, correct? I'm not sure if that's true, but it's between these two teams. The Tennessee Titans, they really did well towards the end of the season last year. Oakland was doing good all throughout the season. They just lost their star quarterback in week 17, or was it week 16, right before Christmas? I'm not sure, but we all know he broke his leg, wasn't able to compete in the playoffs, and they lost to the Houston Texans, who I have sitting all by their lonesome over here in the pile of rejects. But yeah, that's my AFC right there. That is what I have. We have the seeds right here, and then in the hunt, we got the lone Pittsburgh team. Until I can think of anyone else that's good enough to be in that hunt. Moving on to the NFC, which is actually a lot more congested and filled with a lot of good teams. I'll be honest. This is going to be a good year for the NFC. And hear me out. These two guys up here are going to say the same. We all know Atlanta. They have that great offense. They were a good team. I know I give them a lot of crap. I don't give them that much credit where credit is due, but I'm going to give it to them. They're probably going to be number 1 in 2017, so congratulations. Hope you win the Super Bowl. Congrats on making your second Super Bowl, but I hope you beat this team up here. I really do. But back on track. Seattle, we saw them this year have their ups and downs. They managed to take that second seed. I think they're going to get right back up there again, mostly due to that defense. They just need to stay consistent. They got blown out by this team towards the end of the season, and you do not want to see that when you're about to go into the playoffs. That's not something you want in your team. Now, I picked the Redskins. I picked the Redskins to win the East, mostly due to the fact that I think the Cowboys had a fluke of a season. You saw them and how they got destroyed by a team that had barely anything going for them. But Dallas, here, let me move them out for a sec. Dallas is just, I don't know. They had an easy schedule. I will never not say that they didn't have an easy schedule, because they did. They went 4-12 the prior season. Now they went 13-3. They only lost twice to the Giants, who were up there, right over there, and then they lost to Philly at the end of the season, which was a pretty big loss in my opinion. Even though they played no starters, it was kind of the reason why they could. The reason why I feel the Cowboys lost to the Packers is due to the Eagles and the Giants over there. It's out of focus, but you know what? It's the truth. That's my opinion. That's why I have them in the hunt. I don't think that they're gonna have that well a season against a new, with a better schedule. If they get a difficult schedule this upcoming season, they're not gonna do too well. But the Redskins, they're always there, but they're not quite there. You know, like that's how their season went. They almost had it, but they blew it at the end of the season. I think they're gonna win the division by a game or two, in my personal opinion. They're probably gonna go 10-6 if they win the division. But yeah, they're gonna get a seed 4. Green Bay is gonna win the North. The North is really weak. I kept the Vikings out. The Vikings are all the way down there. I kept them out because you saw them implode during the middle of the season after starting off 5-0. 5-0 and you lose 5 straight. And then you start winning one more game, and then now they ended up, what, 8-8? That is disappointing on so many levels. Just like the Eagles, and I'll get to the Eagles in a second on why they're there. But weak NFC North, they just need some improvements. Green Bay will be back on top in 2017. Moving on to seed number 5, or no, yes, 5. I apologize. That was seed 3. That was seed 4. I did them out of order. But seed number 5, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is a pretty decent team. Being honest, we saw them this past year. They did pretty solid. I'm going to be real. They did pretty well. And I expect them to kind of contest against the Atlanta Falcons once again. Atlanta had a tough time against them. They were Tampa Bay was 9-7, right? They were 9-7. Atlanta ended out 11-5. So I'm gonna assume that these two teams are gonna have a battle for seed 1 and 2, or these 3 teams will have a battle for seed 1 and 2. We'll see how that goes. It all depends, in my opinion. But I think Tampa Bay is up and coming. They're making a push for that South Division. Now moving on to my favorite topic, the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh boy. Here are the 3 NFC East teams right here. And I'm just gonna change this up a bit. Give me a second here. Alright. When you really look at this division, I'm sorry if you heard that. That's my dog and her collar. But when you really look at this division, you see 3 teams. You see 4 teams that are actually pretty dang solid. We'll be real, the Eagles offensively didn't have much going for them. Their defense couldn't do everything, and towards the end of the season, they started to implode on themselves. But they caught back and got back on the right track to end the season, beating the Cowboys and the Giants, who are all the way back there. If you can see them, I don't know if you can see them. They're all the way back there, having a good old time. But I think these 3 teams will be the kings of the NFC East for the next couple of years. I mean, we've already seen the Redskins. They've already won the division once. Same with the Giants, same with the Cowboys. And both were well-deserved champions of their division the past 2 seasons. But I think the Eagles, they're up and coming. I personally believe that the Philadelphia Eagles, they will be able to win the NFC East with ease. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say with ease, but they need to make certain improvements in order to win this division, and I think they have what it takes this year to win the division and become champions. But I kept them in the wild card just because I don't think, as of right now, I know I'm kind of repeating myself, but not quite. They don't have what it takes at this very moment. I'm saying in the future, the Philadelphia Eagles will be able to take this team out and take that team out and become champions. But do I really think that that's them right now? No. I don't think that they have what it takes to do that right now. I think they will in 2 to 3 more years. Because they need a lot of improvement, especially at wide receiver. We all know that. We could use a little help at running back. But in my personal opinion, the Eagles, they can make the wild card. They might not go anywhere in the playoffs, but I think they have what it takes to win the division in the upcoming years and become a playoff team next year. Carson Wentz did a hell of a job with what he has. Not to mention, wide receivers were pretty terrible. The defense did pretty solid. We all know that. But they just could not hold up in the beginning or the middle of the season because, well, that was their toughest part of the season. And their wide receivers were not helping at all. That offense was not helping at all. So please, don't hate on me if your team was not incorporated in this video. That can easily change. We still have so much left of this freaking off season to, make that quick a judgment. This is just based off of the past year and where I think each team will stand heading forward. Some of the teams you might say were pretty ridiculous, like, come on, Indianapolis. Why Indy? Why is Washington back up winning the division, And I completely get that. But you know what? It's my own opinion. If you hate it, so be it. It's my own opinion, and it can change. It's going to change. This is one of many videos. I'm going to try and update this once a month, depending on what happens around the NFL. I'll try to keep you guys up to date with what happens, along with myself. If I make more videos talking about the NFL and what I think is happening, then you will definitely get more videos from me, and you'll definitely see more changes happening around these very helmets and whatnot. So please, leave a thumbs up. Tell me what you guys think. You're going to see my picks for the Super Bowl. I almost said Week 19. I don't know why. But you're going to see my pick for the Super Bowl this past week. Because guess what? The Super Bowl is coming. It's right around the corner. It's crazy. Pro Bowl's tonight. I'm not going to watch it. But hey, more football for all you guys, right? Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you all later. Peace.